So we start with what the Giants defense does best, missing tackles. So it starts with DeAndre Baker up here, who's had a few moments of that this year. It's a little out route to Larry Fitzgerald. It was a 3rd and 5. He might have had him short if he made this tackle. We'll watch it in slow motion here. So Larry makes this catch. First down marker's right here at the 35. He makes this catch at like the 34, I would say. So right now, just caught the ball. There's a chance they can get him short, but unfortunately he misses the tackle. We'll see it right here. And I don't even think DeAndre Baker got a hand on him, which is definitely not good. And then Jabril Peppers cleans up the tackle. But yeah, can't have that from DeAndre Baker. You have to make that tackle right there. Here we have the first Chase Edmonds touchdown, 1 of 3 on the day. And I give a lot of credit here to Cliff Kingsbury because he sends the receiver in motion, and that kind of throws off Alec Ogletree because he has to take account for this receiver in the event that it's a jet sweep play. So watch what Alec Ogletree does here. I don't blame him for this. You kind of have to do it. He goes out. That takes an extra giant linebacker out of this play, and of course they run it to the left for a touchdown. So it's a very nice concept. I used to love when the Giants did this kind of stuff with Odell Beckham, where like they would run Odell like behind the line of scrimmage here and like pretend to throw a pass and just do a handoff. It takes one extra defender out of the play. So I love this kind of stuff. Just throw the defense off. Obviously, it's just a regular inside handoff, and he just has a massive hole for a touchdown. We'll look from the other angle and see what went wrong exactly because a lot of guys did not get pressure on this play. So two guys right here, DeAndre Baker, Michael Thomas, taken out by one blocker, it looks like. One guy. I think that's Justin Pugh, actually, former Giant, taking out two guys in the secondary right there. So that's a 1-on-2 situation. Take those guys out. I don't know what Olsen Pierre is doing right here. I'll have to watch this again. We'll watch 72, Olsen Pierre. Had a tough time getting off that block, to say the least. Jabril Peppers was in no man's land on this play, so right here, watch what he does. Kind of had some poor play recognition, I would say. I don't know what was going on there. So a lot of guys and doing some bad stuff on defense right there. And, obviously very easy touchdown for Chase Edmonds right there. This was the Daniel Jones interception. I forget how far the marker was. I didn't put it in here for some reason. But the first down marker is all the way over here. So this is definitely more than 10 yards. Looks like it's a 15, probably a 3rd and 15 type of play here. The Cardinals do the smart thing. They drop back in a deep zone. There are some very, very tight windows, and Daniel Jones decides to take a shot at one. Decides to go right up here. And at this moment, it does look like he has an opening here. He has like a few yards of space between each defender. So it makes sense. I think the one possible completion could have been in the middle of the field right here. I guess this is Evan Ingram. That's the one possible completion, but still no guarantee. Tries to fit it between two Cardinals defenders, and Jordan Hicks makes a really nice play right there. We'll see if the other view gives us a better look at what happened exactly. We'll see what the offensive line did. Was pretty decent protection, it seemed like, for the most part. He did have a pocket. I mean, it was a small pocket. Nate Solder definitely let up some pressure, but for the most part, pretty good pocket, I would say. He did have room to throw and had a lot of time to throw. And you could see right here, Hicks is just playing that ball perfectly, jumps in front of it, makes a very nice play. Usually linebackers drop that ball, so I give him a lot of credit. But yeah, from this angle right here, I mean, in slow motion, I really, I think the only place he could have gone with this ball is probably right here. There's a defender here. He's a little bit off of Ingram, but I think this was the only chance he had of making a completion. Right here is very tough. Right here is not going to happen. Decides to fit this ball in this very tight window right here, but that was obviously not the right decision. But I give Jones credit for being aggressive. It just wasn't the right throw. Here is Chase Edmonds' second touchdown of this game. It's a pretty interesting concept. It's a pistol formation, which we don't see too much in the NFL nowadays. I feel like the Broncos used to do this, but I really don't see it too much nowadays. And it's kind of like a delay, so we'll see what Kyler Murray does. He kind of acts like he's going to throw it first. Then it's just a bit of a delay. Hands off to Chase Edmonds. Has a wide open hole right in the middle of the field. Antoine Bethea, as usual, misses a tackle. And he comes in untouched, basically. So we'll try to watch from this other angle and see if we see anything. Let's see why this entire middle of the field was open. We'll see like which blockers did a good job for the Cardinals. We'll see what happened with Dexter Lawrence here. I mean, he was taken out by the right guard. That's a very nice play right here. I think this is J.R. Sweezy, maybe, if I have the name right. I forget. I think he signed with the Cardinals this offseason. So he does a great job just sealing that block right there. Jabril Peppers gets pushed out of the way by, I guess, the center that was. The center. All right, so he has another seal block right here. Block right here on Ogletree. He's going to have a wide open lane. And as I always say, any running back can run through these holes if you give him a big enough hole. I mean, all these running backs in the NFL are athletic. They can score on plays like this, and Antoine Bethea is the last guy in defense, and obviously you do not want to hear that. So he did not make the tackle, did not wrap up around his ankles, and that's a touchdown for the Cardinals. So a lot of guys not doing a great job there, but you have to give credit to the Cardinals blocking. I mean, both guards, even the center did a really nice job in blocking on this play. I think this guy right here, who might be Charles Clay, not sure, honestly, but he had a nice block as well. And yeah, easy touchdown right there for the Cardinals. Just too easy if you're the Giants defense. It seemed like every time the Cardinals had a 3rd and 5 in this game, they would convert. And right here, we're going to have Grant Haley on one of the slot receivers. I mean, they have 4 receivers out on this play. That's what the Cardinals offense does, though. Grant Haley in man coverage gets beat on a little curl here. Nice throw by Kyler Murray, puts it low where his receiver can get it, but, just not a great play by Grant Haley. We've seen it all season, kind of just retreats too much, and that's what the Cardinals offense will do to you. But they have a lot of fast receivers. You have to respect the speed of these receivers, so I can't get on them too much. I think that's Pharaoh Cooper, number 12, who's a pretty fast guy, so you have to respect his speed. You don't want to get beat deep, but not the greatest coverage right there by Grant Haley. So just hate to see it. Could have done a little better with sticking with him, and it was really a nice throw by Kyler Murray, but that stuff will kill you on 3rd downs on defense. Another nice Chase Edmonds run here for 12 yards. I'm sure a lot went wrong with just tackling and bad angles and all that kind of stuff. So we'll watch this together and see what happened. Grant Haley got knocked on his ass. Alec Ogletree took a terrible angle. They pick up 12 yards. So let's watch from this angle because I'm sure it will be more telling. So let's first watch Alec Ogletree and the type of angle he took. Didn't even touch the guy, just took the wrong hole. Probably should have went outside more. Doesn't even get a piece of him. And Michael Thomas is there just to push him out of bounds, if you want to even call that a push. So in this play here, you have to watch Lorenzo Carter. So, I mean, due to the fact that Kyler Murray is a terrific athlete and can pull this and run the option himself, he has to stay. You see he's like kind of delaying himself and doesn't really get around the edge to make a play on the running back because he has to respect the speed of Kyler Murray. So that takes him out of this play. So the guys in the end cannot make the play. Dexter Lawrence gets taken care of once again. Looks like Marcus Golden was going for the inside, and that just went perfectly for the Cardinals because they were running this ball to the outside. Alec Ogletree probably should have went down this way more towards the sideline instead of trying to shoot this gap because he did not even touch the guy at all. And then Grant Haley fell and picks up 12 yards on that play. Here we have a 20-yard run for Saquon Barkley. I believe, if I remember this play correctly, Elijah Penny does a great job here with a block, so we'll just watch him real quick. I mean, you could watch Saquon if you want, but he makes a really nice block right there, believe, on Jordan Hicks, and Saquon does the rest. There was a block by Kevin Zeitler, I believe, that was pretty key. Wasn't the greatest block. I mean, you watch right here against Chandler Jones. Wasn't the greatest block, but it was effective. It did work. Got his body in the way and made Jones take like an outside route. And by the time he got to Saquon, it was too late. So we'll watch it one more time. You see here, I mean, this is enough. It's not the greatest block. He didn't square his shoulders and all that kind of stuff. But Chandler Jones has to go around his body, and it gives Saquon just enough room to get through that hole and pick up more yards. Picks up like an extra 10 yards on that play. Picks up 20 overall in that run. This was the Red Ellison touchdown, a very nice throw by Daniel Jones. The Giants really have not ran many seam routes this year with Evan Engram or Red Ellison. They do it right here. It wasn't exactly a seam route, but close enough. Drops it right between the linebacker and the safety. Just a great throw. I mean, if you look from the angle of when he releases that ball, I mean, right about here he's releasing the ball. You can tell Ellison has his guy beat by a little bit. His head's turned the wrong way, so Jones definitely has a chance to make this throw. But, of course, you have to watch out for this one high safety up here who could also make a play. And, honestly, he made a very terrible play on this ball. You can watch the safety if you want. Probably should have either lit him up or probably knocked the ball away, but instead he does nothing, barely even touches Ellison, and he rolls into the end zone for a touchdown. So I'm not sure what this angle will exactly tell us. If we could see the offensive line. Chandler Jones made a nice move. He got doubled, it looked like, by Zeitler, went over the help as well, and he just drops this ball perfectly in the bucket right there. And he had a play, I think this is Buda Baker maybe, and he has a chance to make a play on him, but barely even touches him and falls into the end zone. So a really nice throw by Daniel Jones, a nice execution by the Giants on this play. I'll let you guys watch it one more time. He actually did have a route up here that was possible to go to. So, I mean, there was basically two options on this play. I felt like maybe this guy was more open, but Daniel Jones wanted the more challenging throw and said, you know what, I could fit it into Ellison, and that's exactly what he did. Just an awesome throw by Daniel Jones. So Daniel Jones had a lot of key conversions to Golden Tate on some 3rd and longs, and here's one right here. So the Cardinals drop back in the deep zone. He waits for Golden Tate to sit down right in the middle of the field here where the first down marker is. I forget where it is, honestly, but it is a 3rd and 12, so you guys can do the math. Looks to be on like the 39, and Golden Tate sits down and makes the catch. Does a great job of holding on to the ball. Daniel Jones had a lot of time to make this throw, so right when he's about to throw this ball, which is right here, he's loading up to throw this ball. There's room obviously in the middle here. This linebacker's not very close to him. This one's closer, but still has enough room to make this throw in the middle of the field. Golden Tate gets it right in his chest and holds on to the ball most importantly. We'll see from this angle, looked like the offensive line did a really good job on this play. We'll see. I think the Cardinals sent 4 on this play exactly. So it's, they had a chip here, it looks like, with Ingram and Chandler Jones. You like to see that, helping Nate Solder. And looks like there's another chip as well on this play with Wayne Gallman, and I think this is Terrell Suggs, number 56, chips him as well. So the Giants right there, I mean, people always say, why doesn't Pat Shurmur help these offensive linemen? Well, there's 2 chips right there for you. And he has Golden Tate, who holds on to this ball very nicely. Daniel Jones hits him right in the chest down the middle, gets kind of undercut right there. That's a tough ball to hold on to, but a nice job by Golden Tate to hold on. So Saquon Barkley had 2 separate occasions in this game where he decided to run backwards, which, I was not a fan of, obviously, and he just tried to make something out of nothing. So this play was blown up from the get-go, and he makes a very nice move there with the spin, but unfortunately runs backwards. But when you watch this in slow motion, of course it's way easier to watch this in slow motion than in real time, I understand it, but you see here, he spins off this defender, looks like a cornerback, number 20 should be a cornerback. And right here, I would say, is a situation where he could have just went right through this hole right here and made a huge play out of this. The one thing was this guy right here, but I trust Saquon Barkley to beat this lineman or linebacker, whoever he is, to this spot, rather than Saquon Barkley. So, I mean, this was an occasion where he could have made a huge play out of it up the middle, but unfortunately just bounced it back outside. And we'll see how much room there was from the other angle at that moment. Should be like right after he spins off that tackle. Let's see. Like right about here. I mean, if he cut upfield here, he could have had a block here from Benny Fowler and might have had a one-on-one situation with this deep safety. And we all know Saquon can make a guy miss, and maybe he would have taken this to the house. Could have been the run of the year in the NFL, but unfortunately it goes for a loss of 6, turning a 2nd and 4 into a 3rd and 10. So here's a 3rd and 3 for the Giants, and when I watch this view, I mean, this is why I love these videos. I say it like every week, but this is why I love these views and why I make these videos. You can see there was 2 options to go to on this play. He was sacked on this play, Daniel Jones. You have to blame the offensive line, obviously, but there's a route up here. This looks like Saquon Barkley, and right here with Evan Ingram runs just a flat route right over here, and there was 2 chances to pick up a first down here. They only have to go 3 yards, mind you. Obviously, you see the top route with Saquon Barkley. We'll watch him first. He was given a lot of cushion right here, so watch Saquon Barkley. He's going to just cut in right here, and all he had to do was just catch the ball and sit down for a first, and Daniel Jones does not even look his way, which is unfortunate. And then in this situation on the bottom of the screen here, so Evan Ingram's right here. Evan Ingram's man, I believe, is right here, so he obviously has a ways to go to get to Evan Ingram, and I trust Evan Ingram to beat that guy to the spot for the first down. So watch Ingram right here. I mean, I'll just try to put it in slow motion, like right about here. I mean, Daniel Jones could have made a quick throw. Obviously, he was not looking yet. He turns his head right there. That's when he turns his head, so maybe he could have made that throw. His man's all the way over here, so all he would have had to do was just catch the ball and turn upfield a little bit to the 35, so I think Evan Ingram could have outraced him from here to here instead of this guy coming all the way over to make this tackle. So I don't know why that just popped up. That's embarrassing. But yeah, that's a sack, and that sucks. I mean, I don't want to blame Daniel Jones for that. He should have had more time. We'll watch the offensive line and see what happened from the other angle. Cardinals sent 4 guys, and Mike Remmers was abused on this play from a bull rush, and then even Nate Solder. Looked like they run a stunt right there. Solder was just overpowered and pushed back into Daniel Jones. Really, the whole offensive line did a pretty bad job on this play, I would say. I mean, yeah, basically the whole offensive line, so can't point one of them out. The whole line did a terrible job on that play. So this was the sack fumble play with Chandler Jones right here, and this is already an unfair matchup because the Giants were asking Evan Ingram to block Chandler Jones, and it did not work, obviously. The Giants were going for a screen play for Saquon Barkley out to the left here. You could tell all 3 of these offensive linemen, Hernandez, Halapio, and Zeitler, were just all going out to their left, our right, for the screen pass, and then it just never developed because Daniel Jones did not have enough time here. And it could have worked possibly. I mean, obviously, if Evan Ingram held this block and Chandler Jones was not in his face, this play could have worked honestly. But unfortunately, he just double clutches way too many times and exposes the ball for Chandler Jones. So let's watch Daniel Jones and what he was doing exactly. You see him there. His hand comes off the ball right there. Two hands on the ball right there. Hand comes off the ball right there. Two hands on the ball right there. Hand comes off the ball. And Chandler Jones, one more time. For the fourth time, he double clutches, and then Chandler Jones comes in at the right time and strips the ball. So you can't have that. At some point, you have to try and throw that ball away, or even just take the sack. You don't want to fumble that ball. At least punt the ball. At worst, you don't want to fumble right there. You can watch how many times Daniel Jones double clutches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, yeah. So, not a good play by the rookie, but that's why they call them rookie mistakes. So this was the Chase Edmonds touchdown number 3, and just like all the others, he was not really touched on this one. The only one he was touched on was Antoine Bethea, who couldn't wrap up his ankles. They just run a simple inside handoff, and he just runs around here. Some guards are pulling, does not even get touched, and outraces Antoine Bethea, who does not know how to take angles, for an easy touchdown. So we'll try to watch from here and see exactly what was going on. So right here, J.R. Sweezy, I guess, just pulls around here, and he sets a nice block. I'll try to run this in slow motion whenever it starts. So Lorenzo Carter right here. We'll see what happens with him. He gets taken care of by Justin Pugh. Knocked out of that play. I think this is the center right here. Takes out David Mayo. And that's nice patience right there by Chase Edmonds. I mean, he could have easily just ran into all these guys, and he could have been tackled in the backfield. But see, he pauses right here, kind of like a Le'Veon Bell type pause, not as exaggerated, but waits for his blocks to develop. And Marcus Golden tries to make this play here, but it looks like honestly the ass of A.Q. Shipley, I think this is, kind of takes him out of that play. And then right here just gets the hole. Antoine Bethea is too late getting over, and Chase Edmonds has himself another touchdown. So this is another big conversion to Golden Tate. Believe the Cardinals were in a zone defense here, if I remember correctly. Looks like they are, yes. And Golden Tate, he hits him in the right spot. This is a tough throw for Daniel Jones because, the offensive line has to give him enough time, which they do, because, if he throws this ball right here, it's not going to work. This is going to get knocked down or intercepted by this guy, and probably knocked down by this guy, intercepted by this guy. He has to wait for Golden Tate to get to that soft spot of the zone, which is actually right here, and fits it between two defenders. And Golden Tate makes a very nice catch and hauls it in. We'll watch what the offensive line did on this play because I believe they held up pretty nicely for the most part. Mike Remmers got beat outside, but Daniel Jones does a nice job of stepping up. I mean, that's basically how NFL pockets are designed to go. And Daniel Jones steps up. Will Hernandez kind of got beat at the end there, but he held his guy off long enough. He kind of got shedded right there. And Daniel Jones makes a great throw. It's hard to see from this angle, but Golden Tate just hauls that ball in. Two guys coming at him and still holds on to the ball. Great catch by Golden Tate and a great throw by Daniel Jones. So the Cardinals ran the ball on 3rd and 11, and Giants fans wanted to absolutely just fire Pat Shurmur on the spot for doing this. But you see the Giants defense right here. They basically have one guy in the box. It looks like Ogletree right here. They have like 3 safeties on this play that are playing like at least 10 yards off the ball. So the Cardinals say, you know what? Why not just try to go for a run play here? They ran the ball a lot in the second half here once they had the lead. And that's what they do. And they executed the play unlike the Giants did. This is exactly what could have happened on that 3rd and 18 for the Giants. And unfortunately, they did not block so well. So you watch here. I mean, the center is going to have nobody to block, so they already know they have one downfield blocker. They have one guy to take care of Dexter Lawrence, I believe, so they're going to have 2 downfield blockers. They already know that. The Giants only have, 2 defensive linemen basically in between the tackles, and it's easy. You see what I mean? It's just too easy for them. That's what the Giants were going to do on that draw play, but they just did not execute nearly as well as these guys did. So watch the right guard, Sweezy, and then Shipley right here. Basically are just 2 blockers right in front of the running back right here. Chase Edmonds is going to show some patience once again, let those guys hit their blocks, and he picks up a first down. That's what Pat Shurmur was trying to do on that 3rd and 18 play. Unfortunately for the Giants, they did not execute it the right way, but it's good play calling right there by the Cardinals. I don't know if Kyler Murray checked into that play or something like that, but still it worked for them, and the blockers did a great job, and so did Chase Edmonds. So up here we have the rookie wide receiver on the multiple time Pro Bowl. I don't know how many Pro Bowls Patrick Peterson's been to, probably like 7 or 6, or he's been into a lot, but he's in man-on-man right here, and I love what I saw from Daniel Jones on this play. Cuts in at about the 40-yard line, makes a very nice throw, puts it very, towards the ground where only Slayton can get it. It's a perfect throw, and you can watch Daniel Jones. He first looks to the left and scans the entire field. The offensive line gives him enough time. It wasn't perfect protection, but still Daniel Jones made it work and kept his eyes downfield as always, which I love from quarterbacks. So watch Daniel Jones and the offensive line. I'll try to play it slowly here. So Remmers kind of let up some pressure from the right side here. Will Hernandez a little bit. But for the most part, Daniel Jones does a smart thing. Obviously, a lot of the pressure is coming from the right. The Cardinals have 1, 2, 3, 4 of their rushers on the right side of him and only 1 to the left. So Daniel Jones does a smart thing. He slides to his left. First, he scans the left side of the field over here, doesn't see anything he likes, and comes all the way back to the right and sees an open Darius Slayton. Well, barely open Darius Slayton cutting towards the middle of the field. And PFF gave Daniel Jones a very nice grade for this game, and people were like, what are you talking about? The guy played terrible. But no, I honestly think Daniel Jones had a very nice game here. Of course, the ball protection is an issue, but in terms of just pure throwing and finding guys and hitting them in stride and stuff like that, that's awesome. This is a tough throw for an NFL quarterback. I don't care if you're a rookie or 10-year veteran. This is a tough throw. I mean, right here he's looking at Darius Slayton. He has to get this ball in a perfect spot so that this linebacker in zone does not intercept it. And of course, you have to worry about the, as I said, 7-time Pro Bowler or whatever he is, Patrick Peterson. So great job right there by Slayton and of course Daniel Jones. So I just praised Daniel Jones on the last play, and I'm going to do it here once again. So, veteran move right here. He sees the safety is blitzing. He points it out. He's going to point it out right there. All right, so you see him pointing out the blitz that he thinks is coming, and it does. Cody Latimer recognizes it as well. So what's going to happen is Chandler Jones is going to blitz right here, and this safety is going to blitz right here. Obviously, there's, man coverage on the outside, it looks like. So what does that mean, guys? It means Cody Latimer is going to be uncovered for at least, the first portion of his route until this safety picks him up. So Daniel Jones sees it and just quickly gives the ball out to Cody Latimer, which is exactly what you're supposed to do, and he picks up a first down. Very, very well done against the defense that is blitzing right there. I love that from Daniel Jones. I mean, look, it's not the most complicated thing, obviously. I mean, if a guy like me who doesn't know a ton can point that out, then I guess it's not crazy. But still, he points it out, and he finds Cody Latimer quickly. And that's just a great job by Daniel Jones. I love seeing that. So Daniel Jones got sacked a lot in the fourth quarter, and here's one right here where I can say it's either a miscommunication or just blame it on Saquon Barkley, and that's probably the truth, honestly. So watch Saquon here. There's going to be a corner blitz, which comes from somewhere out of the picture on this right side here, and I think Zeitler picks up Jones right here, and then Remmers picks up the corner blitz. Or no, he didn't pick up Jones, I'm sorry. Picks up either, I don't know, let me just play. I already forget what happened. All right, picks up this guy blitzing right here. And basically, Chandler Jones is going to go untouched. So Saquon Barkley either thought he was getting the corner blitz and figured Remmers was going to take care of Chandler Jones, but that was not the case. It was going to be Barkley who was supposed to pick up Jones, and that's not what happened. Has a clean lane, one of the easiest sacks you will get as an outside linebacker. Lucky him. And the Giants just had a miscommunication there. It's unfortunate. So right there, right before that, Saquon should have picked up Chandler Jones, and it would have given Daniel Jones enough time to make a throw, but of course he was untouched, and it's an easy sack for the Cardinals right there. So this was the play everyone was going crazy over, the 3rd and 18 draw play, and honestly, it almost worked. If you watch it in slow motion, this kind of almost worked. The linebackers drop back, which means the Giants are going to have at least 10 yards to work with here, and it looks like they're going to pick up an easy 10 yards on this play. And look, they get Jalapio out here on one of the linebackers. And if Jalapio holds this block, if Engram right here, I think this is, holds his block, then Saquon Barkley should at least get to the 40-ish yard line and give the Giants a very manageable 4th down, which would be a 4th and 8 if they got to the 40. But unfortunately, that does not happen. Jalapio whiffs on his block. He gets chased down from behind. Maybe Will Hernandez could have held his block a little bit longer, but that did not happen. So maybe if Saquon, I don't know, maybe could have tried to bounce out to the left here and maybe tried to get around Patrick Peterson, and then maybe Darius Slayton could have held a little seal block right here, and he could have went a long way to the left side. There's a chance this play could have worked. I mean, look, I know it's not the greatest call in this situation, but I'm trying to defend Pat Shurmur, obviously, and I know that this play definitely could have worked. You watch both linebackers, they are not going to be close to the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what the Giants thought was going to happen. And, in the press conference, I didn't even realize Daniel Jones was the one who checked out of this play. It was supposed to be a passing play, I believe, originally, but Daniel Jones is the one that changed it to the halfback draw. And honestly, it was not a bad idea. So Will Hernandez obviously could not get over to the left more and hold this block a bit longer. Of course, it would have been holding. And Jalapio, who's right here, number 75, has to block this man right here and just completely whiffs on it, and that's definitely going to hurt. And the Giants only picked up 3 yards on that play, but obviously this could have been a much bigger play if everyone did their part correctly, but it just did not happen. I said, with the Cardinals before, they executed perfectly, and the Giants did not. So this was the big 4th down sack by Patrick Peterson coming from the left side of the screen, and honestly, I don't know what the Giants could have done offensively to prevent this from happening, so maybe the only thing you can say is that maybe Will Hernandez should have blocked this guy right here, maybe not have helped Nate Solder right away, but you can't really blame him for that. So maybe he could have blocked this guy, and then Jalapio could have gotten this linebacker right here, and then maybe Saquon Barkley could have blocked Patrick Peterson. That's the only thing I could think of, but you really can't blame those guys for that. Saquon Barkley's doing the right thing, but by the time he realizes that Patrick Peterson's coming, it's too late to get out there, and obviously Saquon can't leave his man here because then there's just an open pass rusher for Daniel Jones. So it's more of just a great play call by the Arizona Cardinals, and Daniel Jones was about to throw that ball, so he just needed like a second more for that play to happen, but unfortunately that's not the case. And, when it's a 4th and 15, obviously, you can send the corner blitz because obviously these routes are going to take a while to develop. These routes have to be, beyond the first down marker, and it gives Patrick Peterson enough time to get to Daniel Jones before he has to let go of that ball. So I would just tip your cap to the Cardinals and say that's a smart play call by them. So this is the last play I'm going over. The rest of it really didn't matter. The Giants obviously had terrible field position at the end. Darius Slayton should not have returned that ball. We all know that. A couple more offensive line breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. And that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I guess I'll talk to you on Thursday night for the preview for the Lions game. And thanks for watching. So I'll talk to you next time.